Hello investors, I hope all of you had a great trading day today. I know that I did. I posted another 3.5% gain, which I was pretty excited about. And so far this year, that brings me to 175.95 year-to-date percent return, marching right along. I made a few changes to my portfolio today, so there was some from the list yesterday that I did unload. One was AVID, and I sold that for 6.6% gain. And another was Kirk, K-I-R-K. I sold that for a 15.5% gain. And AXGT, which I sold for a 12.6% gain. So I moved out of all of those stocks. Reason being, on Kirk, I didn't really plan on selling it this early, but what happened is it really surged, and so that I watched for a pullback on that. I wanted to take my profits there at that high surge amount, and so I'll do that sometimes. And if you're wondering exactly how I do that, I have a video. It's how to sell a runner. Check out that video. It's really great. It kind of talks about exit points and an exit strategy for different stocks. So today, day trading, I did okay, and I only used 10% of my Catalyst portfolio, which is 6% of my total portfolio. I only use a small amount for day trading, and the reason I do this is to protect myself against risk, just in case I have a really bad day. Although I have been extremely consistent at day trading so far. And today I only had a 0.2% gain, but that was the 21st day in a row that I had a gain. That's pretty good. So today I day traded GNE, MOGO, and JRJC. So yeah, it was okay. It seemed like something would happen, like I would go get lunch and I wasn't checking my phone at that particular time, and then I missed a really good opportunity early in the day, but hey, what do you do? So I wanted to cover my keys for success, the things that I think are important traits to have to be a successful investor. Number one, first and foremost, if you're brand new, and I definitely do this sometimes, don't panic. Just don't panic. Just stay cool. Cool and calm, and you'll make the best decisions. Number two is buy only stocks that you have a reason to own. If the reason is, my buddy thinks this is a great stock, it's probably not going to be successful for you. Or if it's, boy, they had this big news, but it's something in the past, it's probably not going to be successful. So just make sure you buy only stocks that you have a reason to own. Number three, make sure your reason is in the future and not the past. I talk a lot about this. If all the catalysts have been used up on a stock and you don't know of anything great coming out or anything looking forward for the stock, because the stock market is forward-looking, forward-thinking, then it's not a good stock to own. That would be one not to have. Number four, do your due diligence. Do your studying. Make sure that you know anything that you buy and that you're going into. Or if you have someone you trust, make sure that they've done their due diligence. Number five, if you're losing money, get help. I suggest joining a group. I have a great group, and we have a lot of great members that help one another. It's our Patreon group, and for the small amount of money that it costs to join that, you do one successful trade, you've more than paid for 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 months. It's definitely worth checking out. I would check it out in the description down below. Number six, develop a winning strategy and stick with it. I have 4 strategies that I use, that I've developed over the years. My most recent one has been my day trading strategy that I use. It's been very successful for me. I'm very unemotional about it, and I get in and I get out exactly when it's time, and I have certain rules that I follow. It really helps me not to lose money in that style of trading, that's for sure. Number 2 is insiders. Definitely that's the thing that I'm the most comfortable with when I see insider activity done in open market. That means at a price that you or me would pay, a regular investor would pay. I feel pretty confident going into that stock. Number 3 is PDUFA and phase data run-ups. I love these. They're usually good for me. I've been able to find stocks that have an important drug coming out or something I think is important. And if it's a PDUFA run-up, typically I'll wait until about a day to 2 days before it and I'll sell it. And I'll buy it about 2 weeks ahead of time. And I seem to have a gain doing that. It's just a strategy that I've followed, and I don't win all the time, but most of the time, and it's really good. And number 4 is my dividend strategy. This is my safe money that I do, and I just take my dividends and reinvest them and reinvest them and reinvest them, and I choose certain stocks. I have a certain way about it, but it's been a very successful investment tool for me. Well, let's get to the top 7 because we've got a lot to talk about and I'm just kind of going on and on. Let's get her done. Okay, number 7. And this was number 1, and I moved it down to number 7. There's just some really cool stuff that's happened that I'm going to cover later on in this list. And TTOO is going to be number 7. It's not because I don't believe in it, that's for sure. They are shipping tests, and they have lots of upcoming catalysts. And so I feel really good about TTOO, and I'm going to own it and have it going, and I'm looking forward to it going well. Number 6 is TRVN. TRVN has an August 7th PDUFA date, and that stock is really surging for me right now. I'm liking that. That's a PDUFA run-up that I'm owning for now, and there's lots of different catalysts with that, and it's a very important drug I hope the FDA does approve. Number 5 is GNUS, and this has been on the list before, and I actually did not do good with this before, but there's insider activity now, and there's got to be that activity for a reason. And today was announced a deal with Archie Comics. It's over the Stan Lee characters, and I think that that's really cool. I like GNUS, and I'm gonna hold it. It's gonna be a good stock, lots of insider activity, lots of reasons to be in it. Number 4 is BNED, Barnes & Noble Education. I did not do good with this before, but I've pretty much made up all the money from that already. And this was called out on our Patreon group. Most of the members in here are making really good money on this stock, so this is a great pick. Zachary bought more shares. He must know something we don't. I mean, he's putting his own money in it, so I think BNED it's got some reason for it. It's already up, and I expect it to continue. We'll see what happens. But today was kind of a special little thing because we had a short sale restriction and insider activity. And I love those because typically you get a really nice pop, and that's what we got out of BNED today. Number 3 is Bed Bath & Beyond. This stock has really gotten beaten up, and it got beaten up because they announced they were closing some stores. I don't know if that really matters. People really like Bed Bath & Beyond. I know my wife does. 2 directors bought in open market, and so that gives me confidence that it's a great stock. They paid the price that anyone else would have paid, and so I feel really good about it. It should be good. Number 2 is VOXX. VOXX was called out in our Patreon group pretty early. It's had some really nice insider activity on it, and it's Kali Holding that has on it, and here's why I like it. It's a little different insider activity than we've typically had in the past. This happened about 4 months ago. There was an insider buy by Kali Holding every 2 days for a month, and the stock doubled in price during that time. Well, I think it's happening all over again, and this is the first of many purchases I'm expecting. And so I really like VOXX for that reason. Number 1, this is not an insider. One of the members on our group today called it out to me and put it on my radar. Nbrv, they have a deal with Merck. And I've had Nbrv in the past. I had them for a PDUFA run-up a couple months ago. I think that was last month, actually. I did really well with it, but it was very volatile. It was crazy. They did a direct offering. Now they don't need any cash, which is really good. But now they've announced this deal with Merck, and I think it's going to be huge for them. And that's the thing we had rumors on KTOV, where the stock surged from around 80 cents to $1.20. That was a really great trade, but it ended up not materializing in anything, and I think it's dropped all the way back down again. Well, Nbrv is actually who got the deal. I like that, and I think it's going to be a great stock, and it's something you should watch for tomorrow. I do a lot of work for this list, and of course I very much appreciate all my subscribers. We passed 1,500, so I'm really excited about that. If you could please hit that most amazing and wonderful like button, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you could share this video with friends, that's something I would appreciate also, and hopefully this is of great value to you. If you haven't done so already and you're seeing this middle-aged guy talking about stocks, please subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so that you get the reasoning behind the stock picks that we have. If you're looking for a powerful broker, I highly recommend Webull, and the reason why I like Webull is because they're terrific pre-market and aftermarket hours, so you can kind of take advantage of other brokerages opening up late. I like that. If you're looking to get a free stock, you can do so by just clicking on the description down below and joining. It's a great broker that I use all the time, lots of great tools. And then also you get another free stock for depositing money. It's something that I think is well worth it. Let's have a great day tomorrow. Let's make some killer money, and Raythoven out.